Hey everybody, it's Dusty. I'm coming to you for Emotional Awareness Group. We usually have a check-in, and so I wanted to walk you through that verbally a little bit so that you can check in while you're at home. First of all, we usually check in to see about how many times a week we've been feeling certain things. So that could be fear, interest, disgust, joy, shame, and surprise. I think those are the main ones that we look at on our sheet or on our sheet. So if you are able to reflect on those, think about throughout how many times this week that something like that has come up for you, and make note of that. After you've had some time to reflect on that part, please take some time to then choose one of those days or one instance in particular that you remember that was had an emotional impact on you, and think about a little bit. Think about what led to that happening, if there was any triggers to that taking place or to that emotion coming forward. And then after you've thought about it a little bit, see if there's any way to take any positives from that or to reframe the situation from a negative to a positive, if that's a fact, the negative starting point for you. If that's not the case, if you start in a more positive one, then finding the positive in that hopefully will be easy, but try to find a different one than what's most obvious there. Some indirect way that this emotion can have a positive impact on your life. Then, once we do that part of the check-in and then we share that with everybody, if there's a way that you can share this with somebody in a safe way to practice social or physical distancing, please do that. That'd be great if you have someone that you can talk to on the phone about these things, to check in about. That can be helpful sometimes to be able to connect with other people. Take that time then, after you've reflected or shared with other people, or found some way to express how you're feeling, whether to others or in the form of art, then feel free to take some time to think about gratitude. We try to think about two different things at each group, what we've been grateful for so far for that day. That can vary every day and it can come and go throughout the days, or you can have multiple things that you can be grateful for. During this time, though, we just try to think of two things that we're grateful for in this day or in this moment. And then we try to share those things or keep those in the forefront of our mind as well. After we've looked into gratitude, we then follow up by having a lesson or talking about something, some topic of discussion. So since we're not meeting today, I won't have that, but I do hope to have some for you in the future. Some topics for discussion or to think about, and that we would normally have during group. And then what we do usually to end up group is to take a minute for ourselves to think about somebody or some way that we want to show love in our life, whether that's to another person or to a thing. But we, as the phrase goes on the sheet, today I choose to love blank, and I choose to show it by blank. That's just for you personally. That's not something that you need to share with anybody else. It's just to put love as a forefront in our mind for something to, as a guide, when we can think about those things more intentionally. Hopefully that love will be more prevalent in our lives for that little bit of time, or not. It might not work in that way. It's a way that it could potentially improve the amount of love that you are experiencing or noticing in your life. Thanks for the time and for watching this video. If you have any questions or any insights, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll try to get some content up for topics around group. But I wanted to just walk you through this verbal group check-in and to give you those tools that you can use at home while we're staying away right now, and so while we're staying at home. So take care, everybody. Great to check in a little bit with us, and looking forward to seeing you all soon in some fashion. All right, bye-bye.